If you like science fiction, BJ Valli's novel, Warning Malfunctions May Occur, might be for you. It has a touch of the Douglas Adams Hitchhikers series about it. This is the beginning. The battered little spaceship slipped and spun through the asteroid field. Only narrowly avoiding several devastating collisions with chaotically spinning blue chunks of jagged rock, its engines whined and strained under the stress of the radical manoeuvres the pilot continued to put it through in his attempt to escape the deadly field. Inside the cockpit of the White Vulture, steadfastly ignoring a variety of alarms and warning lights, the pilot slammed the accelerator lever down hard into reverse, then threw the lever forward again. "You really might have to rethink this no-questions-asked policy of yours, Johnny," Tyson said, flinching as they passed a particularly large asteroid with only inches to spare. "Oh, I don't know, Ty. It brings with it certain benefits," John replied, emphasising the phrase certain benefits with a forced smile. "What, like being pursued by bounty hunters?" "I was thinking more along the lines of the pile of credits we got up front for taking on such a simple, straightforward job." "Simple, straightforward? You know that delivery job we picked up? Well, he just ejected himself out of our airlock." "He did what?" John swore as he took his eyes briefly off the screens, and a split second later the ship shuddered as one of the asteroids glanced off their faltering shields. He refocused his efforts back on the spinning rocks outside of the cockpit's windows. "I guess we'll be delivering that package ourselves now," said Tyson, as he pointed at the silver briefcase that had been hastily jammed under John's chair early in that day. "Well, you know, it's the thing about no questions asked." John gave his co-pilot an apologetic look. "I didn't ask." "What? So where are we supposed to deliver it to then? And to whom? You didn't ask anything?" "Of course I did. I'm not a total idiot, you know." Tyson fought the urge to correct the captain on his last statement. Instead, he asked slowly, "Okay, fine. So what do you have?" "I have a name," John said, flashing a grin. "A name. Great. That is just great, Johnny." The sarcasm in Tyson's voice was unmistakable. Well done. Now all our problems are solved. Please tell me exactly how we are going to locate this name. They could be in any of the 7 systems." "6 systems, John corrected him. "No one's stupid enough to enter the Zeta system. Besides, I have a plan." Before Tyson could reply, the captain threw the little ship into a hard spin, expertly threading it between 2 wildly spinning asteroids, abruptly ending the conversation. The captain eased up on the throttle, pulled up sharply and banked hard to avoid another incoming rock. Then, still ignoring the multiple flashing warning lights, John pushed the nimble little ship back up to full power. It shuddered briefly in protest, then shot forwards, the engines belching out a thin plume of smoke that swiftly dissipated, swallowed up by the blackness between the stars. "That should do it." John released the restraints on his chair and leaned forward into a flamboyant bow, the smug grin on his face not missed by his co-pilot. "I'm curious," his co-pilot asked, not looking the slightest bit impressed by the captain's gesture. "What does left mean to you? Is it still that way?" His aggravation was clear in his voice as he pointed vehemently to his left, knocking an array of dangling cables as he did so. "I have told you before," John retaliated, gesturing to his left. "This way is port." He paused before pointing to his right. "That way is starboard." "Port, starboard, left, right, whatever in the 7 moons you want to call it. You almost got us killed," said Tyson, with growing frustration. "What are you trying to say? It worked, didn't it?" "But I nearly died. And I can tell you right now, if I do die, I will not be happy." The co-pilot, resigned to the captain's unwavering overconfidence in his own abilities, gave his head a shake and got to work checking his instrument panel, currently lit up like the end of year celebrations on Earth Prime. A voice hailed over the ship's intercom, interrupting them. "This is Captain Brianna Gomez of the Scarlet Blade. Captain John Alexander and Tyson Blake of the White Vulture. Please bring your ship to a complete stop. My contract authorizes the use of deadly force if necessary." "Lost them, did you?" said Tyson sarcastically as he gave John a withering look. "Good job. Well done." "Look on the bright side. She said please," John replied as he pressed his ship-to-ship intercom button. "Captain Gomez, how nice it is to hear from you again. How long has it been?" No one replied. "Before she starts shooting at us again, can you at least tell me the name you were given?" "Sure. But first..." John paused for a moment before continuing. Promise me you won't get mad. Tyson's response was slow and filled with forced restraint. Whatever you say, he agreed at last, one eye on the ship's still silent intercom button. So, what's the name? Hector Gibbs. What? Hector Gibbs, said the captain a second time, as he leaned over and lifted a glass panel on the main console between the two men. The console had the words, "Let's go, baby," written on it in the captain's untidy scrawl. Under the lid was a big red button, and now his hand hovered above it.